Welcome to the episode 8. It's been a while. This episode will be about WAN again. We will use WAN for some tools and different settings to achieve great results. And I will show you this image story, how to create it. So first, the workflow has an update. Now, it has much better upscaler. Consistent upscaler, it is now actually upscaling instead of changing the style. Time to see the difference of the workflow and talk about some values. So you know the first part from previous episode, I suggest you to watch that first. So how this upscale works. The logic behind came from the idea. It should be the way it created, so it must be 2 stages similar to the image gen process. The high noise is resampling with low denoise here. After that, it goes low noise part. We are mimicking the generation, but the value should be different because we want consistent upscaler, not making whole new image. Seed is also randomized. It means that every time you run, you get different upscale result. It also gives us flexibility to choose. If we want more consistent, we should decrease the denoise of first part, but it causes some problems. I gave you the logic with the text upside. I suggest you to read before trying to change it. So after a whole process, we got this upscaled image. I always latent upscale my image because it fixes some problems for me. At the end, I will go with other upscaler types. Downside, we have realism fix. It is making more realistic, but some details can be gone with this. Still, I put it so you can try. So this was the V4. Now, time to start with some tools for WAN. The first tool is a detailer. Some people call it upscaler. So there is load image, and we have low noise with CFG. The CFG is giving us more AI look with less mistakes on this task. Not to make process faster if you are wondering why. So, how this works. First, we open Mask Editor and mask the area we want to fix. I painted the low resolution hands here. I want to make them more realistic when you zoom in. But you can fix many things, logo or sometimes text, but it is not in Painter. It is like Detailer. So after you have done that, put the words what you are fixing. For me, it is man's hand, after the sampler done its process. You can see it is now more detailed, and it is blended with the blur because of in-paint process. The hand got fixed. Maybe I also should have masked the camera he is holding and changed the prompt for the task. The output save is the final image you should save. The resolution is unchanged as expected. Let's see some other examples with this. I even fix the background sometimes so it can do many things. But do not try it with human faces since it is making same face every time because of the interaction. Low noise with 2.1 LoRa. Especially with the hands if you want to try, it is making absolute good job. It is making from complete AI look to the realistic look. For the other body, I don't know the effect. You should try it yourself. Now it is time to see how I got this car. How can you get it yourself? The resolution of this image is so high and the mistakes are so low here. I am trying to show you that, but YouTube compresses little. Time to see the workflow. There is actually no secret here. It is the V4 workflow. Except one thing. We are doing image to image. But it is not really image to image. We are trying to get reference pose for the car itself. The reference image is nothing to do with the quality. We are copying only the reference car pose here. So the quality is same as normal V4 workflow. It is not always working, but I leave you 2 settings you can try yourself. Not any single pixel is matching the reference image. Think it like depth map, but depth doesn't exist, at least for now. The logic here is we are getting a latent and driving it for some steps, and suddenly it changes as we want it to be. Change on the prompt, I make it white and put some settings. Wait is how the reference image will be similar while the denoising steps. It is hard for me to explain everything here, even if I do, is that necessary? So, it is unstable because it is also depending from seed to seed. I also do not recommend putting reference image vertical. Make it like square or wide. This is because model is tend to make the change wide. The sigma and denoising amount of each step also matters. Hope I gave you the idea, so after this process end and get your upscaled version. It is time to see the last tool. The TTP. The TTP is, you know from the upscaling episode. Now what if we integrate WAN low noise model with this? This idea bring me to try this. And the result is amazing. We have now better upscaler, realistic one. I adjusted the Clown Shark sampler denoise to 0.45 and steps to 3 to be faster. You can play it with 4 steps or more denoise to get better results. I did not get error really with 2x upscaling. So, this was the final part of the upscaling process. The car and details has been made, maybe small fixes with our detailer as I showed you. Now let me show you some final results of this workflows. The first one is comparison, before the TTP and after the TTP. So you can see TTP makes huge difference. It fixes even the tiny detail. It is essential. Second comparison. The first image is reference image. The other one is image to image. Result with Clown Guide 7 steps. The result is first pass result, not upscaled or not TTP result, and some different examples with V4. The underwater scene. Wolves on the snowy cold forest. I like the white one. The portrait performance, comparison with no upscale and upscale. And man's fragrance. Looks like we are close to make our own brand. So, this is enough I think for this episode. Before we are leaving, the Quen image edit is dropped, and it is maybe better than context. We should decide it. With some different concept of art, I will test it next episode. We will see its capabilities, but for now, I think it looks better than context. I also tested both Quen image and the Krea dev. I did not really like the Quen image. It's because I am interested in realistic photos. Krea is not bad. I think we also should work on Krea. Maybe we can outperform the WAN. Thank you for watching this. All workflows will be on free Patreon, as you know.